Hey everyone, welcome. It's so good to be here with you today. Many struggle with their relationship with food. Diet culture can be overwhelming, but mindful eating offers a compassionate approach. It's about being present, savoring each bite, and listening to our bodies. Cultivate gratitude and recognize the connection between food and emotions. Subscribe and hit the notification bell for more. Let's get started.
So, what exactly is mindful eating? It's about bringing full awareness to the experience of eating without judgment, noticing the colors, textures, and aromas of your food, paying attention to the taste, the sweet, the sour, the salty, the bitter, recognizing internal cues of hunger and fullness, learning to eat when hungry and stopping when satisfied, tuning into what our bodies need.
One of the simplest yet most profound mindful eating tips is to slow down. In our fast-paced world, we've become accustomed to rushing through meals, shoveling food in our mouths without even tasting it. But when we slow down, when we take smaller bites, chew our food thoroughly, and pause between bites, something magical happens. We actually start to taste our food again. We appreciate the flavors more fully, and we give our bodies a chance to catch up and signal when we've had enough. Digestion actually begins in the mouth, so chewing your food well is key for optimal digestion. Slowing down allows us to be more present with our food and with ourselves. So the next time you sit down to eat, take a deep breath, slow down, and savor each bite. Your body and mind will thank you for it.
Our bodies are incredibly wise. They have a built-in system for telling us when we're hungry and when we're full. The problem is, we've become so accustomed to overriding these signals that we've lost touch with them. We eat because the clock says it's lunchtime, or because we're stressed, or because there's food in front of us, not necessarily because we're physically hungry. But reconnecting with your body's cues is essential for mindful eating. Before you reach for that snack, take a moment to pause and check in with yourself. How does your stomach feel? Are you experiencing those physical sensations of hunger, like a rumbling stomach or low energy? Or are you mistaking thirst for hunger? Sometimes a simple glass of water can make all the difference. It's about honoring your body's wisdom and giving it what it needs.
Let's be honest, how often do you eat your meals while scrolling through social media, answering emails, or watching TV? In our hyper-connected world, distractions have become the norm. But when we eat while distracted, we're not truly present with our food. We're not fully experiencing the flavors, textures, and aromas. And we're more likely to overeat because we're not paying attention to our body's fullness signals. Creating a calm and inviting eating environment can make a world of difference. Try turning off the TV, putting away your phone. Yes, even putting it face down isn't enough. And silencing those notifications. If you can, sit down at a table, even if it's just for a few minutes. By minimizing distractions, you allow yourself to fully engage in the act of eating and cultivate a deeper appreciation for your food.
We've all been there, that overwhelming urge to eat. Not because we're physically hungry, but because we're feeling stressed, lonely, bored, or any other challenging emotion. Emotional eating is incredibly common, but it often leaves us feeling unsatisfied and even guilty afterward. The key to overcoming emotional eating is to first become aware of your triggers. What emotions tend to drive you to reach for those comfort foods? Is it stress, sadness, loneliness, or maybe even happiness? Once you're aware of your triggers, you can start to develop healthier coping mechanisms. Instead of reaching for that bag of chips when you're stressed, maybe you go for a walk, call a friend, or listen to your favorite music. Remember, food is nourishment, but it's not the answer to every emotional need.
In a world that often encourages us to focus on what we lack, practicing gratitude, especially gratitude for the food that nourishes us, can be a radical act of self-love. Before you take your first bite, take a moment to pause and reflect on the journey your food took to get to your plate. Think about the sunshine, the rain, and the earth that nourished the plants. Consider the people who harvested, transported, and prepared your food. A simple practice of gratitude can shift our perspective from one of scarcity to one of abundance. It allows us to appreciate the nourishment we receive, both physically and emotionally, and it can deepen our connection to the food we eat and the world around us.
Portion control doesn't have to be about deprivation or rigid rules. It's simply about becoming more mindful of the amount of food we're consuming and finding a balance that feels good for our bodies. One helpful tip is to use smaller plates and bowls. Our brains often associate a full plate with satisfaction, so using smaller dishes can trick our minds into feeling more satisfied with less food. Another helpful strategy is to pre-portion snacks instead of eating straight from the container. And remember, listening to your body's cues of hunger and fullness is key. Eat when you're truly hungry and stop when you're comfortably satisfied, even if there's food left on your plate.
When was the last time you truly tasted your food? I mean, really tasted it. The flavors, the textures, the aromas. In our fast-paced world, we often eat on autopilot, barely even noticing what's passing our lips. But when we slow down and savor our food, we awaken our senses and enhance our enjoyment of the eating experience. As you take each bite, pay attention to the flavors. Is it sweet, sour, salty, bitter, or a combination? Notice the textures. Is it crunchy, creamy, chewy, or smooth? And don't forget about the aromas. Close your eyes for a moment and inhale the scents of your food. It transforms mealtimes from a mundane necessity into a sensory delight.
You know, I love to talk about connection, and that includes the connection between our physical and emotional well-being. And sometimes, that connection is as simple as a glass of water. Staying properly hydrated is essential for overall health, but it also plays a crucial role in mindful eating. Often when we think we're hungry, we're actually just thirsty. Dehydration can manifest as feelings of fatigue, headaches, and yes, even hunger pangs. So before you reach for a snack, try drinking a glass of water and waiting a few minutes. You might be surprised to find that those hunger pangs subside. You'll likely find that you're less likely to overeat and more in tune with your body's true hunger signals.
Mindful eating isn't about deprivation or following strict diets. It's about making conscious, nourishing choices that support your overall well-being. A balanced diet, rich in fruits, vegetables, whole grains, lean proteins, and healthy fats, provides your body with the nutrients it needs to thrive. Instead of getting caught up in restrictive diet rules or labeling foods as good or bad, focus on incorporating a variety of whole, unprocessed foods into your diet. Listen to your body and pay attention to how different foods make you feel. Some foods might give you an energy boost, while others might make you feel sluggish. Allow yourself to indulge in your favorite treats occasionally, but do so mindfully and without guilt.
Mindful eating doesn't start when you sit down to eat. It starts long before that. It starts at the grocery store. When you're surrounded by tempting treats and processed foods, it's easy to make impulsive decisions that sabotage your healthy eating goals. That's why mindful grocery shopping is so important. Before you even step foot in the store, take a few minutes to plan your meals for the week. Having a list not only helps you stay organized, but also prevents those impulse purchases. When you're at the store, stick to the perimeter where the fresh produce, meats, and dairy products are usually located. The inner aisles are often where the more processed and packaged foods reside. And don't be afraid to read labels. The more informed you are, the better equipped you'll be to make mindful choices.
Listen, we're all human. We all make mistakes. We all have moments when we overeat, indulge in cravings, or fall short of our healthy eating goals. And that's okay. The most important thing is to approach these slip-ups with self-compassion rather than self-criticism. Instead of beating yourself up for having that extra slice of pizza, acknowledge your feelings without judgment. Recognize that you're human and humans aren't perfect. Then, gently guide yourself back to your mindful eating practices. Be kind to yourself, embrace the journey, and celebrate your progress along the way.
We covered a lot today, but remember, mindful eating is a journey, not a destination. It's about progress, not perfection. We explored the importance of slowing down, listening to our bodies, recognizing emotional triggers, and cultivating gratitude for the food that nourishes us. And we talked about approaching our eating habits with self-compassion rather than self-judgment. Start incorporating even just one or two of these tips into your daily routine. and see what a difference it makes. Don't forget to subscribe for more tips and inspiration, and I'll see you in the next video.